Hey, what's up guys, Nils here and welcome back to another video. So last night we had a shutdown in order to fix a couple of things, including finally the boss here on Shiver happening actually. So now the boss is gonna be spawning. Unfortunately guys, I haven't yet caught a Shiver, which means that I don't have the weapon, but the odds seem to be very high as people have been pulling multiple weapons every Shiver. I think it's something like 1 at 400 with all the game passes. Like the odds are ridiculously low or rather high, so it's very easy to get the weapon. But anyway, another thing that was actually changed with shutdown is enchants. So enchants have been buffed, and some of them have actually been buffed by a lot, and they are pretty much OP. Now I think the reason for that is that the Christmas enchants were just a lot better previously, so they kind of wanted to like give I guess an incentive for people to farm normal enchants, I guess, or just the new players actually being able to get good enchants, because the normal enchants were not really that good in the past. So anyway, so we have a couple of buffs here. Now let me start off with probably the most sought after enchant, or rather the most commonly sought after enchant, Tiny. Now Tiny has been buffed, and it's honestly pretty ridiculous at this point. So Tiny 1 is at 30% at level 1. Like 30% speed and sure 10% less power, but nobody really cares about that. Like the enchant is flat out broken. For comparison guys, I'm gonna show you a Tiny 5 from its current state after the buffs. So Tiny 5 gives 90% sword speed. This is, I don't know, this is just ridiculous in my opinion, like 90% speed. It does have the 30% power drawback, but nobody really cares about that. It's just flat out insane how good this weapon is, 90% speed. Now, besides that, we had a couple of other passives buffed as well, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So first of all guys, talking about damage enchants. Now, what I told you in the past to do was to go get these equal damage enchants because they were really good. They still remain pretty good, so for comparison I have an equal 4 here, it's 62.5 damage, and sharpness 4 is at 50% damage. I think that this was the same value as previously. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was buffed, but I think this was the same value as previously. So still Ezekiel is better in comparison to sharpness, but hear me out guys. Another passive that was buffed in terms of damage is actually Smite. Now this is a multiplier of Smite 5. It gives 150% more crit chance. Now depending on the meta, and by meta I mean what the current best relic is, like for example our current best relic is Locked Book, and as you guys can see it actually gives crit multiplier, which means that these Smite enchants are gonna be synergizing extremely good with this relic. So I think guys that Smite might be the play, depending on whatever relic is the best. For example, Smite wouldn't be as good with Slice of Cake. If you were to pair it, like you would still want a damage enchant. But yeah, Smite is pretty ridiculous with relics that give crit multiplier and crit chance obviously. So for example, if I like equip this Locked Book right here and I go to my stats here, let me see. So my current critical strike chance is 46%. If I were to equip this Smite 5, my crit chance would be over 100%. So basically every single weapon, every single attack that I was gonna do would crit. Now obviously the ideal scenario in a situation like this would probably be to have 2 Smite enchants and a relic that gives insane crit multiplier without the crit chance even, since this gives like a pretty decent crit chance by itself. As you can see, my base crit chance is 16% and it goes up to 40 something with that 196% crit. But yeah, depending on the occasion guys, Smite can actually be extremely good. Now I took a look on the other enchants as well. Light doesn't seem like it was buffed. It's still like 20% just what it was. Now I'm not sure about Powerful. I think Powerful was buffed as well. I don't think it was 55% the Powerful 3. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think it actually was that good. I think it was buffed. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I think it actually got buffed. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you guys can let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, like as I said, this update, speed rules everything. Like speed is by far best enchant, and it's what you want to be going after. So Tiny is the only passive that kind of matters for power gain right now. Like even Light is not that good because it's not buffed. And I think Huge was buffed as well. I took a little bit of a look on Huge, but unfortunately, guys, it's honestly not that great. Like Huge is just not that great. It doesn't seem to perform really good. Maybe after the buff it's decent, but still I wouldn't take it over Tiny at any way, shape or form. Maybe if it's like in a part of a double enchant that's like decent, I would use it, but I would normally avoid it. And lastly, we have God. Now God has also been buffed, guys. Keep that in mind in case you are lucky enough to have it. Honestly, I was actually gonna say that God wasn't really that impressive. Now, don't get it wrong what I said. Like, for example, this God 1, like, it's not that impressive by itself. Just like, if you find like a single God enchant, right, that's not high level, it's not really that impressive. Like, God 1 gives 33% more power and 25% sword speed. So it's honestly not that impressive just by itself for power gain. Like, probably any average, like, double enchant like this, for example, like 20 speed, 55 power, is gonna be better than God for the sake of power farming. So it's not really that good, although it did get buffed. Now, if you guys are one of these lucky people that have God 3, God 4 and whatnot, because I've seen a couple of these so far, it is actually pretty broken, yeah, but on this like state, it's not really that good. And I guess the same can be said for any enchant. Like, still, I think it would be really worth to actually, guys, use your Magic Drops Game Pass and just try to farm, especially now that the passives have been buffed low. Basically, what you want to be doing is you just want to come here and like you just want to remove all of these like from auto sell. And whenever you kill and loot them, you just want to be checking, yeah, because you have this passive on, like you have the Game Pass on that gives you enchants. And the Tiny 5 that I showed you guys, this is how the person that has it actually got it. He was just like killing mobs with the magic drops and he did get a Tiny 5. So if you're patient enough, I guess you can technically farm good enchants with this method, although it is a little bit painful and a little bit slow. But yeah, so anyway, back to the enchant topic just to close things out. Another enchant which I didn't mention, but it did get buffed, is pretty much Slayer, this new quote-unquote passive that we have. Now, Slayer is like a damage-oriented passive. It's still pretty good for damage. Like, it's the alternative basically to, I guess, not having like a, what's called, not having the Smite enchant. Like, if Smite is not really that good and you don't have it, you can use Slayer. Slayer gives attack speed and damage, so it's pretty good. And obviously, like, it's just better than Sharpness. Like, Sharpness is the most like basic enchant, and it's not really that good. So yeah, you can also go for Slayer for damage enchants. Now, Mighty was also buffed, I think, but it's still not good for power. Like, it's really not that good. I don't know. I don't really like these mixed enchants that give like damage and power. It feels like it's not good for either of them. It's like something in the middle. So yeah, they're not really that great. But yeah, anyway, guys, so as I said, just focus on Slayer, focus on Tiny, and focus on Smite. These are by far the best enchants right now in the game. So best of luck getting whatever you're after. And yep, just a heads up that everything has been buffed. So if you have magic drops, remove everything from your auto sell, because you might actually end up sniping a very high ranked passive that's actually good, like that Tiny 5 that I showed you earlier, guys. But yeah, anyway, that was pretty much it for this video, guys. As always, if you have enjoyed, make sure to click the like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Take care.